How you doing?
Happy birthday, nephew.
That's simple. A lot of like to spend their money. We love to spend our money. We can't take none of this. None. Ain't no armored trucks pulling up at no funerals. Simple. So you better enjoy this. A fool and his money will part. We do this.
Lil Meech isn't holding back anymore. He's calling out Rick Ross for allegedly scamming Big Meech out of a massive $120 million. And now, things are heating up fast. This isn't just another rap beef. It's turning into a full-blown war between BMF and Rick Ross, with both sides refusing to back down.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. Yeah, Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech?
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
February 13th, the Big Meech Home benefit concert. It's going to be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This gonna be special. Epic. Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
A quick Google search for you says that your net worth is $20 million. I know I got more money than that. I might go 70 days without looking at my exact total amount of my money because it gives me anxiety, keep looking at numbers all day. It's like when you put money in stocks, the stock trader told me, say, put a lot of money in stock, don't keep looking at that. Drive you crazy.
Yeah. So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
The world of hip-hop is in chaos. Social media is split in half. Fans are taking sides. And every new post adds fuel to the fire. This could be one of the biggest showdowns we've seen in years. In this video, we're diving deep into Lil Meech's explosive claims, the truth behind the alleged $120 million hustle, and how it could change everything for the BMF legacy.
I'm doing right now, my shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still count paper. This
Think about it. It was all part of the plan. 50 Cent and Rick Ross, they set up Big Meech. Freeway Ricky, Rick Ross, and now you got 50 Cent, he owning the rights to BM.
Take a picture with Rick Ross. Put your back against the wall and just slide down.
Word on the street is Rick Ross just played Big Meech like a pawn in a $120 million hustle. And once again, 50 Cent jumped in, clowning the whole situation. But here's the thing, people say they saw this coming long before it went down. Everyone except Big Meech himself. Ross came in smooth, flashing Hollywood dreams and big business talk, movie deals, massive projects, luxury partnerships. It sounded like a new era for Meech and his son. But once the camera stopped flashing, reality hit. Ross walked away, living large, while Big Meech and Lil Meech were left hanging. No deals, no money, no movement. The whole thing started to look less like a partnership and more like a setup. One street insider even said people felt bad for Lil Meech, but not for the grown men who should have seen it coming. This was business, not sympathy. When Big Meech got out of prison last October, fans thought they were about to witness a real comeback story, the king reclaiming his throne. Everyone believed this was a moment to turn his legacy into something legitimate. But then, Ross showed up, talking about $120 million in film deals and a so-called empire in the making. On paper, it looked like Meech was finally about to cash in on his own name. Except that empire, it never existed. No film projects, no payout. The dream Ross sold turned out to be all smoke and mirrors. Behind the scenes, it looked like he was using the Meech name as a prop, another tool in his long-running rivalry with 50 Cent.
Ross take a
you a couple weeks ago about a girl that you're not even with no more.
We wearing Travis Scotts all week.
What is it with you and Ross that's just been going on for so long?
Nothing else works for him outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me. It gets covered further. I get covered across the board. They get covered on the hip hop law. It is what it is. And you watch because I have nothing else to say. You'll just see it happen periodically as it goes. You know, you see that big white elephant? That property he lives at? It costs more than the nightclubs. He's in the nightclubs. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass? You trying to save money, nigga? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh?
Ain't nothing wrong with cutting your grass.
Here's where it gets cold. Ross knew exactly what he was doing. If he was really loyal to Big Meech, none of this would have gone down like that. The streets caught on quick, calling him out for what it was, pure clout chasing. Everyone knew who was really putting in the work behind BMF's name, 50 Cent. The one financing the show, pushing Lil Meech's acting career, and keeping the legacy alive. 50 Cent was the one holding the BMF legacy together from the very beginning. He funded the BMF series, paid for Lil Meech's acting lessons, and opened the doors that turned him into a legitimate star. Meanwhile, Rick Ross was out here doing what he does best, bringing hype, headlines, self-promotion, but nothing real. Still, for reasons no one could quite understand, Lil Meech chose to side with Ross instead of the man who had been building his career from the ground up. And that move, it didn't just raise eyebrows. It started a quiet war behind the scenes.
Biggest boss Ricky Rose just got word. Meech concert not happening tonight, but 3:05 is going down at the office. Meet us there. Bam!
Even Tony Yayo spoke up about it, saying 50 had been in Lil Meech's corner since day one. No gimmicks, no fake loyalty, just solid support. But word on the block says the pressure is finally catching up to Meech. The money's slowing down, the fame's starting to fade, and frustration is settling in. Because at the end of the day, Ross wasn't there out of brotherhood or loyalty. He was there to poke at 50 Cent and stir the pot. And now, Lil Meech doesn't look like the boss of a legacy. He looks like a pawn caught in the middle of someone else's feud. That's when 50 decided he'd had enough. He came swinging, pulling one of his classic trolling moves that had everyone talking. He joked that Rick Ross told Lil Meech to give up his father's address so he could send some Wingstop wings. The internet went wild, but the joke carried a deeper message. 50 was basically saying Ross wasn't giving the Meech legacy anything of real value, just dressing scraps up as loyalty. Then 50 got personal. He started airing out Lil Meech's behind-the-scenes drama, claiming that he had to step in after Meech showed up to the set intoxicated, threw up during training, and lost focus on production. Then came that infamous story about the Whippets, nitrous oxide canisters found in Meech's truck, the kind tied to reckless partying. 50 even joked that he had to Google what Whippets were, laughing at how ridiculous it all was while reminding everyone he was the only one acting like an adult, keeping the show running.
When that song came out, that's probably like the hottest I ever seen a rapper. People was confronting Ross everywhere, 100 deep, with Larry Hoover Jr., 100 deep to confront Ross about saying the old man name in the song. Even some of the BMF guys for saying he think he Big Meech. When it come to Meech, Meech had guys getting BMF tats on their face in the pen.
Through it all, 50 positioned himself as the protector, the one holding Lil Meech's career together, while Ross and Big Meech, in his eyes, were playing too fast and loose with their own legacy. But despite everything, Lil Meech stuck with Ross. They were seen clubbing, smiling for cameras, acting like everything was fine. And that's when the streets turned. People started roasting what was left of the BMF image, saying that the partnership with Ross was built on ego and empty talk, and it collapsed faster than anyone expected. The fans aren't holding back either. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. Rick Ross is a fraud, period. Another said, Ross messed up the whole legacy chasing clout. The people have spoken. But the real question now, is Ross just playing the game, or did he really leave Big Meech high and dry? Was Meech's loyalty misplaced? or was he simply outplayed in a much bigger hustle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe because this story, it's far from over.